Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Zurich Invest event here at the Dollar Grand Hotel in Zurich. Of course, with me here is now Max Silver. You remember the fantastic silver developer out of Mexico. And George Paspalas, the president and CEO, wants to give us an update. George, welcome. Pleasure as always.
Thank you, Jochen. Always good to be here.
Absolutely. November last year, we did the last interview. I spoke with Peter McGrath already in Toronto, but this was more a little bit, I would say, on the geological side. So some things happened. I think your partner Fresnillo said like bigger and better. What does it mean?
That's a very good start. Bigger and better. Yes, with the exploration success that we've had over the last 2 years in the deeper zone, there's obviously significantly more mineralisation occurring in Valdecanes now than what was originally anticipated. And Fresnillo, as the operator of the joint venture, and the expert in this area in Mexico, made a decision early last year that this project could potentially be a lot larger than what was initially envisaged. And we started engineering, looking at options for different scope of what we would develop here. And it's very smart on the joint venture's part to be doing this. Before we spend any capital, we've looked at what's the optimum size now, and you see we're going to upsize the size of this mine. We were going to mine at 2,650 tonnes per day. We're taking that now to 4,000 tonnes per day. And that's significant.
Wow,
because
that's really a lot, especially with your high grades.
Well, it's 40 to 50% more metal flow.
Jesus.
But the capital to do this is incremental, because we're not expanding an existing facility. We're building it from scratch. And so there's two parts to it. There's the going to 4,000 tonnes per day as an initial operation. That's going to really turn a focus on just how robust this project is. Because when you increase your tonnage, you start to dilute your fixed costs. So it's highly likely that we're going to have lower operating costs than what we currently have in our technical report.
What does it mean when you say it's incrementally more money you need? You still have enough, or do you have to go to the market?
Right, that's a good question, thank you. And I was getting to that. Up until now, to build the project as outlined in the 2012, updated in 2014 PEA, we were fully funded for our share with a surplus of about $22 million. Fresnillo, we haven't finished the numbers yet. Right? We haven't finished the final design of what the, to use your words, bigger and better is. And what the bigger and better is two things. It's building the facility to be able to sustainably mine 4,000 tonnes per day for the complete mine life. That's a very small amount of capital, very small.
Super.
The larger part of the additional capital is the second part of bigger and better, and that's an internal shaft. Right, that's going to go.
It costs money, yeah.
It costs money. It goes from the top of the bonanza zone down into the deep zone. And it's going to cost somewhere between $50, $60 million. So if you put it all together, let's be conservative. And Fresnillo have guided to this and said that the incremental capital could be another 30%, which is $100 million. Our share of that is 44. We have 22. So that's the increment. The increment could be somewhere in that sort of range, 20, 30.
Yeah, but it's for you easy to finance, I would say.
Well, I think that's very, when you see the economics on the project,
exactly,
that'll be very easy to fund. But a lot of that capital is putting in this internal shaft, which you don't, the last 2 years of putting in the internal shaft, we're generating cash from the bonanza zone. So it's too premature to say exactly where this will end up in terms of what our financing requirements are. What we've said, though, is, look, rather than say we're fully funded, because we know this project is bigger and better, we're well funded now. And there is no doubt that it's going to be quite straightforward. The real challenge is, what's the best way for us to do any incremental funding that we need? We may very well be able to fund the increment out of cash flow. that would be first prize.
That's
Right? Yeah.
that's the number one.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
this is important from evaluation because as we announced stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 deep drilling, very good results were coming out, very wide, continuous intercepts of very good grade. But analytical people, analysis in their modelling, put it at the end of the bonanza zone life, 15 years into the future. Well, the NPV of anything, 15 years in the future, is 0. With this internal shaft, we're bringing the ore into the mine plan, maybe year 3 or 4. That's not 0.
That's right.
And so what we're doing now is a resource update based on all that drilling and a new technical report that'll marry in very, very nicely with what the joint venture's preparing as a development report for the project. And we hope to have that completed and be able to come out with a production decision with the joint venture, with Fresnel, in the second quarter. Of this year.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And so, we're excited about that.
Great.
And more important, let's say equally exciting than bigger and better is we are now embarking on exploration on the property away from the 2 veins that we've drilled for the last 13 years. And that's where we're excited about future discoveries. And I mean, we are just scratching the surface.
Absolutely.
On the joint venture
is
ground.
so big, it's unbelievable.
We're very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Maybe can you comment a little bit also, let's say, on your last year's report just brought out?
Yes, sure.
And, I think you wrote off Cinco de Mayo.
That's right.
Also, so maybe just some comments on that.
You can't keep the accountants out of the business.
That's normal.
So
it's horrible, but it is normal.
At the end of this year, on a purely accounting basis, driven by our auditors and you know, our audit committee, we felt that because we haven't been able to get back on the ground at Cinco de Mayo for 3.5 years, we haven't been able to spend money under IFRS accounting regime. It was appropriate that we write off our carrying value of Cinco de Mayo. And so we did that, $48 million. We announced the write-down of the asset. It's purely an accounting function.
Okay, but you still have it in the value.
Well, look, I mean, we own them. So the issue at Cinco is not about ownership of the metals. We have that for 50 years, renewable for another 50. It's about surface access. What we're doing today, after the write-off, is no different to what we've been doing for the last few years. We're still working hard to get on the ground. And, you know, we're taking small steps forward in that. It's going to be a long process. But as I said, the accountants get involved and they say, it's time for you to write this off, so we've written it off.
Then do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It still keeps in your ownership.
We own the metals, as I said, for almost 100 years. And we're still working how we were to get on the ground.
Perfect.
It's just unfortunate it takes time.
Super. Great. But that sounds good. I love the bigger and better.
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
And
I like
I
that
look
too.
forward then for Q2 on your decisions, what you are doing. And I'm pretty sure we see us soon.
Oh, yeah. Look, Q2 for the asset production.
Yeah.
The rest of the year, hopefully some more exploration success. Greenfields, new stuff.
Great. And I'm pretty sure Peter will find the stuff.
Oh, if anyone on the planet can, that's him.
He can do it.
That's
Definitely. George, thank you very much.
Okay,
and all the best for that.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was George Paspalas, the president and CEO of Mag Silver. And you heard it, the bigger and the better, I would call it. And they will sink a second shaft in addition, will raise the production profile by 40 to 50%. And it only requires a little amount of money. Honestly, this company has always been able to finance them very intelligent in a very good way. The shareholder basis speaks for itself. And so honestly, even if they need another $100 million, it doesn't matter. They really will get it with a minimum on the dilution. That's also important. And I would call it's the mine below the mine. That's how I see it. And so this is a sensational company, one of the best in the silver space, definitely. And you should check it out seriously. Thank you very much for watching us. Bye-bye from Zurich.